You now have the ability to customize your reflow profile, and I'll show you how to do it. In the reflow section, there is a Configure Cure Profile button that brings up a dialog with the preview of what your reflow profile looks like on the right, and on the left there are different parameters that you can adjust. We've written this with a detailed explanation of the different parameters and why you would want to change them, as well as what's typically recommended for them. Of course, your choices will technically vary based on your board, components, and the particular type of solder paste that you're working with. Something that is good to know is you'll probably want your temperature to be a little bit warmer or cure a little bit longer than what your manufacturer recommends because of the way our printer is set up. You can adjust the preheat rate, and you'll see that it gets hotter faster. Or I can decrease that rate so it takes a longer time to reach the soak temperature. I'll leave that at the default of 1. The soak temperature can be decreased or increased, but typically it's recommended to be 120 degrees Celsius with a duration of 300 seconds, or 5 minutes. When I make it longer, you can see the timescale on the bottom of the graph changing, but I'm going to leave it at 300 seconds. I can adjust the spike rate of the reflow and make it sharper or shallower, but I'll leave it at 3. The reflow temperature can go up to 160, but we typically recommend using 150. For reflow duration, we keep ours at 80 seconds. While most solder paste manufacturers will actually recommend a little bit shorter than that, we have found that 80 is a very good value for the solder paste that we ship. And the cooling zone cooling rate we keep at 4 degrees per second. It's actually even slower than that, but that's more of a physical thing, because you don't really want to have things cool off too quickly. Once you're done, you can look at your profile and see the cure profile that will run during your process.